Hi, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good middle of the night, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. I'm very excited because I decided yesterday that I will do a short series on fulfillment in life. And whether you're a high achieving business person, a mom, a dad, a high flying single 20 something year old, or a kid, or a 70 something year old person, it doesn't really matter because the ingredients to an amazing fulfilled life are the same. I'm saying that now at the ripe age of 39. Who knows what I'm gonna say in a while, but I'm very, very curious for what your thoughts are on what I'm sharing, and I would love to know what you think based on your experience, your age, your path in life, your everything. And even though today I was a little bit, so I was very excited to be here this morning earlier on, and then I just had like a little slump, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll just do 2 events tomorrow, and so on and so forth. And I'm glad that I decided not to, because obviously, this is the point of life. And this is just exactly what brings joy, what brings fulfillment, what brings everything. So I wanted to start the series with happy. And so happy, healthy, wealthy, but happy is part 1 today. And so what is happy? What does happiness mean? Because, in life I talked about that briefly yesterday. So if you haven't been here yesterday, just go back and watch that. But I talked about what happiness is, and that this is the fundamental pillar. There are 3 of them: happy, healthy, and wealthy. But happy is, to me, the most amazing one, because you can have your health, you can have your wealth, but if you don't have fulfillment, if you don't feel happy from the inside, regardless of what your bank account looks like, and regardless what your health status looks like, you are not going to enjoy life. You're not going to feel that you've achieved anything, whether it's success, fulfillment, achievement, happiness you're after. All these values are actually linked to the same thing. It is all about being happy. And we all know that we strive for filling some needs, right? So everything we do is to fill a need. And so I might sound like I'm being a bit chaotic today, but actually it all leads back to the point of happiness and gaining happiness. And so I'm going to talk as long as I feel, and it might be 20 minutes, it might be an hour, I don't know, just whatever flows, right? So if you're here and you're watching, please comment, please engage, because the more engaged you are, if you are here, the more I can kind of talk with you on that topic. So what is that? We all strive for fulfillment, and we all strive for happiness. And many of us often set goals. So we set goals because we want to feel happy, right? We want to have some level of success and so on. And so those goals usually are something like, I want to have this amazing career, or I want to have this job, or I want to have this family, or I want to have this house, or I want to have X in the bank account, or I want to travel the world, or I want to do whatever. And whatever your goal is, right? Think about your goal. They're usually specific, they're measurable. And that's how we've been taught to set goals. But what's behind the goal? Behind the goal, there's always a feeling, right? So a feeling of something that we have when we achieve that goal. So, for example, we want to have this amazing car, for example. I don't know, like full, spec something. And that's okay. So that might mean that for us, it means that we feel achieved, accomplished. It might be that if we have this, to us, it's like a token of appreciation to ourselves. So we will feel accomplished. We will feel excited. We will feel happy. We will feel successful. We will feel all of these other things, right? Whatever that is. We might want to have a beautiful family. That beautiful family might mean security. It might mean peace of mind. It might mean love. It might mean something else. And there are all these things that we strive for, right? Whether it's a material thing, or it's like a specific state in life, or a status in life, all of that always leads back to the feeling we have when we achieve that. So we can have that feeling before we achieve that. And by the way, that's how we achieve that. But that's a different story. But so if we talk about this, so if you're striving for this, when you have that family, when you have that car, when you have that whatever, the chances are that unless you are feeling that emotion inside already, you will look for the new thing that will give you that again. So you might get that car, and then that feeling of success will not be there because it's not within. So you will go for more, right? You might build this beautiful family, and you will feel love for a little bit. And then you will feel like this is not enough. So you will look for love elsewhere. I don't mean outside of the family. I just mean like you will look for other ways in which you feel loved. So it's not bad to set goals. It's amazing to set goals. That's what drives us in life, right? We need to remember, though, that the goal, so the Everest, right? I love to talk about Mount Everest in this example. The Mount Everest in this example is what? It's that goal. It's achieving it. But everything, every step of the way, every point, whether it's the bottom of the mountain, base camp, or anything else, any other points in the journey, they are all that journey. So, you know, when you're climbing Everest, you're gonna be there at the peak, and it's probably gonna be freezing and blasting wind and whatever, and you'll be there for a bit. You'll get excited, you might high five even, and then you'll be going back. So the whole time, you'll only spend maybe 1 or 2% of time, if that, on actual happiness and celebration of the goal. So you celebrate within beforehand, and then the way is easier. You feel accomplished, you feel happy, you feel excited. Oh, okay, I'm doing all sorts of reactions apparently. And the journey will be so much better, right? The journey will just be so much more fulfilling, so much more exciting. So again, back to this car that you want to buy, or this family that you want to have. When you feel just imagine yourself, okay, I want X, right? What feeling does this give me? What feeling does it give me? When you have that feeling, build that feeling within you as you strive for your goal, because you will feel happy. You will feel that, right? As you go for it. And with that, it means you won't be happy when, you will be happy as well as, right? You will feel that excitement, that joy, that whatever. And this is exactly what this is all about. So talking about this, when you feel that feeling, what do you feel? Successful, you feel achieved, you feel accomplished, you feel loved, you feel excited, whatever that the emotion is that you're striving for, right? You will feel connected, you will feel whatever, right? And what does that go with when you're like feeling what you always want all the time? That's joy, that's happiness. That reminds me of being a kid. That reminds me of when I was a kid, and until teenage years, when, you know, everything started to be like, meh. Until then, everything felt amazing, exciting, joyful. Like, I don't remember looking at my watch. All I remember was my mom calling me for dinner, or, you know, if we were away somewhere, like someone calling for a meal or something, and it was like, is that the time? Or I remember turning around and going like, it's dark, how did that happen, right? Because when you're having fun, when you're enjoying what you're doing, time flies. First of all, you are fulfilled, and so life becomes a journey. Like, life becomes this fairy tale, this amazing game, this fun, this playfulness, right? So what happens with us? Why aren't we like that now? Because it's easy to talk about this, right? But most people are not like that. Like, I see adults, and I'm so blessed with my kids because they show me every single day. They show me how to knock those walls down that we've been building as adults since the moment we started being broken by the older generation of adults, right? We're born as kids, we have fun, and then someone, like, we're fun and playful, and everyone's like, oh my god, look, they took a step, oh look, they ate some food by themselves, oh, they hold a spoon, oh, whatever, right? And they do that. And then as you get older, and you might be doing things that the adults might not enjoy, like, you know, they say no, and you still go for it, and you still want to do it, because you're a kid and you're like, I'm not stopping at one no, I'm gonna do it. Someone starts to get offended. Someone starts to get upset with you because suddenly you're the one going, like, doing something that they might not appreciate. So then you don't hear all these like, oh, how cute, how amazing. You hear, well, you know, why did you do this? You're naughty, or you're behaving like this, or, you know, this is not nice, this is whatever. So we are becoming broken, like, right, from this moment. And then, so it's like we're like la 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 going through life, and then suddenly, like, we start to be this like old, shrinking, just kind of that kind of person. And as we go through life, many of us, even if we might like feel and seem and sound playful, we're probably not as playful as we were when we were kids, right? Unless we consciously work on that. So what I was saying was that I feel so blessed when I'm with my kids because they constantly test me, constantly, like all the time. And because I analyze things a lot, I analyze pretty much, you know, like we most likely, most of us do, right? But I'm always like, right, they say something to me, I go, you know, let's not do this, for example. I don't know, it might be they're jumping up and down on the sofas, and I say, don't do that, don't jump. And they go, why? And I'm like, well, actually, why don't we, you know, why don't we do that? We can break them. Okay, well, we don't want to break them, but what else can we do so we don't break them, we still have fun? And I kind of try to stretch my own boundaries and go, why am I saying what I'm saying? Why is this something that's okay? And why aren't they right? Why don't I stretch my own boundaries, so to speak, to be more playful and more fun? So they're constantly testing me, and I'm like, okay. We were just out for a walk in the woods today, and we were just walking and dancing and singing a song from one of the series that they've been watching, and I started watching with them because I decided to just have even more in common and know more and understand more. And so we were just walking around, and there was this woman who was probably my age, maybe a bit older, who was just looking at us as she was passing. She just had this like disapproving look, and I thought, you forgot how to have fun. How can you have a happy life when you're not having fun? And that doesn't mean always like jumping up and down, by the way. That doesn't mean like you're always like, yay, I'm 100% turned on. Like, who wants this kind of person, right? No. But it's being joyful. So you can be sad, you can hear sad news, but be joyful at the same time. It's not mutually exclusive. You can be happy, a happy, joyful person, and you can receive sad news. You can be a happy, joyful person, and you can receive something that makes you feel irritated, but you're still happy and joyful. You can hear that someone messed something up in your business, and you can still say, wow, this is interesting, right? You can, you know, okay, right now, yesterday, we had some breadcrumbs that we made, and I was picking up a container from one shelf to move it onto the next one. And guess what? I picked the container up in the wrong way, and everything went all the way around. And then one of my boys was doing something, and he was shaking a milk carton. It was like oat milk, so luckily it didn't smell when it exploded everywhere, but it exploded everywhere. And then I was like, okay, I can be upset about it, or I can just be like, wow, look at this. Let's see what we can do next time so it doesn't explode. But my point is, it's not about kids, it's about life, right? How we play, like games, fun, whatever, is how we do life. So when you are playful, this is exactly how you're going to approach life. So do you want to approach life in the serious way, or do you want to approach life in this amazing, excited way, right? So for example, I have noticed, and I have people in my life that I've been observing who are accomplished. They, on the face of it, seem fairly healthy. They have stability and wealth within their life, and they have just, oh my God, the most amazing travels. I mean, some of the places they've visited, I'm like, oh my God, if I could see half of those places still in my life, that would be amazing. You know, the amount of time they spend traveling is amazing. Yet that person is constantly feeling lack. They're constantly feeling like there isn't enough, like something's wrong, like someone's annoying them, like someone's doing something wrong to them, and so on and so forth. And I'm like, oh my God, how much more fulfilled their life would be if they are just enjoying what they're doing, if they are seeing the positive, right? So how do you do that? So how do you stay happy? when maybe there are news that you don't like. Because we all say we like surprises, but we only like the surprises that are like, oh, this is the tendency of the surprise that I like. Like, this is the way it's going that I feel is good, right? Is going in the right direction. So, okay, if we receive news that just, you know, are like bringing us down, what do we do? Well, the first thing is to remember and realize that this is not it. What we have just heard, or the way we are receiving something, is often based on the previous experiences we've had, or previous assumptions like worries, right? So the way we experience things is not the way they are, it's the way that we see them through the prism of what we've experienced before. So what do? Right? We can't find a new experience if we've not had it, right? We can't suddenly, you know, it's like you're sitting in a movie theater, and back in the day, they don't do it now, but back in the day, there was someone behind you on the very back moving like this big roll of film and putting it into the projector, and it was playing. So imagine if you're like, okay, I need to play a different movie, but you don't have a different roll of tape, right? So what do? You don't just wait for something to happen, because then you're going to be reliant on events. So you're not going to be living within, you're going to be living outside. And outside means that whatever happens, conditions will dictate how you feel. So don't do that. Do this instead. How can my life feel even better? Ask yourself, what did I do to cause this? Ask yourself, what would I love? Ask yourself, what would be the best next thing? And don't expect you to answer. Don't expect you to come up with the answer from here, from the head. Just be like, whoa, what else could there be? Or what is good about this? Find questions like that, and I have plenty of them, and I'm more than sure that I'm going to be doing some sort of a workshop in the very, very near future about this, because there are so many beautiful things we can really just teach ourselves to do, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, we're suddenly changing the reaction, because it's really difficult to change the reaction in the moment. Obviously, you've got to teach yourself this, right, as you practice, but also, you can start asking new questions, and those new questions will dictate new state. They will dictate a new pattern. They will dictate a different way. So one of the questions I've been asking myself is, how can it get even better? And look at this. This question works regardless of whether it's something negative that you're looking to change or something positive that you're experiencing. Because we sometimes think like, oh yeah, we experienced something great, and so we don't have to do any work. Well, no, because then we're going to be back in the state where, you know, where if we don't have to, if we think that when something good is happening, then we kind of just leave it there, then we're always going to be in that place, right? On that level. If we want to level up, we've got to keep asking ourselves the question, how can it get even better, right? So imagine something negative is happening, something that you didn't like, something that you didn't want. Go back to a situation that might have happened. I guarantee something happened that you didn't like or didn't want in the last 48 hours. I guarantee, right? And so think about this and think, okay, how can this be even better? What can make this even better? How can this get even more fulfilling, even more exciting, even more amazing? Okay, ask this. And then imagine yourself having a situation that is a positive surprise, or something that went exactly to plan. And you're like, yes. Chances are you're probably like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? I already knew that was going to happen. What's the next thing? We don't appreciate that when it doesn't happen, but we do suddenly think that, you know, it's not worth celebrating, right? When it does. So think about this. Something that has been happening that's been, you know, very positive, very good. Think about this. And ask the same question as you did when you experience something negative. Say, how can this get even better? So you've just had an amazing win, whether it's your parenting win, like you've just had an amazing experience, your kids did something that shows you that they are seeing, living, you know, creating a beautiful life. Or maybe something at work happened, maybe something in your business happened, maybe something with your health that surprised you. Okay, amazing. How can it get even better? How can how can I feel it even better? How can it be even better, right? Ask yourself that question. So when we do that, we're playful, because we're like, whatever, I'm not controlling anything, everything's fine. Like, this is how we are in our mind, right? We don't have to do all these jazz hands, which I'm doing right now. So if this is what's happening, what do? You follow your joy, right? And this is the theme, basically, how to feel fulfilled, how to feel happy. Follow your joy. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a tip. I talked about this briefly last weekend when I decided to go live, but I'm gonna give you this tip. When something happens that you don't like, usually we're like that close. We're like this, right? We can touch it. So what do? You move away from it. Now, that doesn't mean you run away. There's a technique. So listen to this. For example, someone gave you negative feedback. Like, they told you something that you didn't want to hear. Client, family member, whatever, right? And that upset you, that put you in a low vibration. I talked about the scale of vibration last time. That puts you in a negative vibration. And so you're like, I want to get out of this, right? But you're seeing yourself stuck in this vibration and it doesn't feel good and it's really sticky and you can't get out. So what do? Okay, right. You generalize it. You make it blurry, okay? So you go, okay, what happened? Someone gave you negative feedback. Okay, so I don't like when I hear something that I don't respond well to. I don't like hearing things that I wish I could do differently. I don't like hearing when someone tells me something that I know I could do differently if I thought about this differently. I don't like when someone confronts me with something that I maybe have done in the past and actually again have done. So I'm feeling a little bit angry at myself because I've done this again. I don't like this. How does that feel comparing to they gave me this feedback, they told me this, right? I don't like this. Okay, so then you switch, you take a step over to this side and you go, okay, what do I like? So I like hearing when I have improved. I like hearing that before this is what someone's observed and now this is what they're observing. So I like hearing when I've made progress. I like hearing something that means that I am moving in the direction that I want to be moving in. I like hearing this. I like this. I like this. And you keep talking about this, right? So you moved from very negative and bad to, okay, this is negative, but I'm like far away from it. It doesn't really matter. To then, oh, okay, but this is what I like. What are you doing with your vibration from here to here to here? You're going boom, boom, boom. Okay? And then you go here and you go, I love when so-and-so tells me this, or these people at work give me this specific stuff. I love hearing that I'm X, Y, Z. I love knowing. I love being. I love la 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 la. And it gets like you get close, right? And then the vibration's there because you're in love vibration, in awe. So that's another thing you can do, okay? And so living in this beautiful, happy state, again, there are people out there who you would not say from like just seeing them briefly that they're living in a beautiful state, amazing state, that they're like happy in life. But you don't have to show everyone and everything a plastered smile like this. No, you don't. You can do whatever. But it's being in the state that is in high vibration about this. And this is what makes it fulfilling. So for example, I was at an event last month and it was a 4-day event and 3 days were like, this is how I felt because a breakthrough was very, very close. Usually it takes me a day, half a day, and like when I feel like this, and then I feel the breakthrough when I'm specifically at something that's really, really full, high vibration and so on. And this time it was 3rd day already and I was still feeling like I wanted to, like massacre some teddy bears or something, right? And what did I do? Did I talk to people like the way I felt? Did I talk to you know, did I behave like this? Did I kind of have a low vibe? Did I sit there like slumped and, you know, negative? No. I talked about this, but in a funny way with a high vibe. So I said, oh, you know what, guys? Like, this is the third day. I'm feeling like I just want to slash everyone here. Like, move away from me, right? Is this a low vibration? No. It's a high vibration because you're making fun of it. So it's fun. It's joy. It's joyous, even though there's no joy in the situation, but there's joy, right? You're raising your vibration. And so this is what I mean by changing your state. You can still, there are still things that can be happening, but the way you approach them is very different. There was something else I just thought about sharing with you, but it just came and went and escaped. Oh yeah, so because often we're manifesting something, and we are in the state of like, I have to be in high vibration that I already have this, and then I will get this and I will receive this. Well, the truth is you don't. As long as you're in high vibration, you have asked for what you want, you have asked for your desire is on its way. The more you enjoy, have fun, don't worry, but are like, it's all there, it's all ready, the quicker it's gonna get there. Now, it's not gonna get there because you're holding your hands up and you're like, meditating, and this is gonna fall into my hands. No, it's gonna come quicker because thanks to this, you are opening up the vibration, like you're opening up yourself fully to receive, meaning you will receive amazing ideas that will result in action. So it's not sitting and waiting, because people often think we have to be spiritual and sit and wait, or we have to take action. No, there's a sweet middle, happy middle. You do take action, but you don't take it from your head. You don't go, what am I going to do today? You don't write everything down. You go, okay, how do I feel? Right, well, today, for example, this morning, I woke up and I had an amazing idea that came to me after waking up. And what would I do if I was in my head like I used to be? I would go, okay, now I have to wake up, I have to meditate, then I have to exercise, and then I have to do whatever, and then I have to do this, and then I can sit and think about my ideas. How bullshit is this, right? So I sat down, I was like, oh my God, yes. And it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm excited, so I'm going to do something quick. It was like flow, right? So I did all this. And then my kids came up and we were talking, and we came downstairs, we had fun, we watched an episode of a series, we did some fun stuff together, we talked about stuff, and I just followed Joy. And then we got downstairs and I was like, you know what, I do want to move today, but I don't feel like moving right now. Like, I don't feel like forcing myself to move right now. I do want to move it, and I'm going to do it, but not right now. And then I said, you know what? I want to make something nice to eat. Something that I haven't made ever. Or maybe not in a long time. Something I don't even remember making. And then I remembered being in a bookstore a few weeks ago and seeing this amazing cookbook with some great vegan recipes. And I remember taking a photo of a couple of them. So I looked at my photos and I saw these amazing vegetable samosas. So, as you know, triangles filled with some amazing Indian stuff with, well, some food with Indian spices. And so I just spent the morning making them, and I had so much fun. And I mean, the triangles did not look like triangles. They were like wonky, super out of shape. They were definitely shapes, just very random. And it was joy, right? So then I started looking at what else is it that was bringing me joy. And I was like, how am I feeling? Am I feeling in high vibe or am I feeling low? When I started feeling low, like I didn't want to do anything, I was like, okay, I think it's time to move, because right now I don't feel like I'm not feeling like I'm high anymore, right? I'm not feeling fulfilled anymore. So what makes me feel fulfilled right now? Is it an app? Is it chatting with someone? Is it doing some work? What is it? And then I said, boys, let's get up. Let's get out. Let's go for a walk. And we ended up going out and running together and walking together, moving definitely a lot, like stimulating this flow. And we were out for over an hour. And then I came back. I had a couple of calls and then I did some creative stuff, and it was just flowing, right? And then a client called me and said, oh, by the way, I wanna work with you for 6 months. And it was like this. And that doesn't happen when you're like, what do I do right now? Right. So you put your desire out there. The desire is out because you relax, you attract it, and you attract ideas that come to you from that level of consciousness. Those ideas come and you act on them, but you don't act on them from attachment, from lack, from how do I do all these things? You act on them from, okay, so this just came to me. This feels like a good idea. I'm going to do this. I'm going to text this person, or I'm going to post this thing, or I'm going to search for this, or I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to call this person, whatever, right? All of these ideas are coming. And so, again, you generate what you want. It's so easy then. And then you just make sure you stay in high vibration. When it feels uneasy, that's your sign. It's like, you know, when you play hot and cold. When you feel it's cold, you go into different direction. And when you feel this is cold again, you change direction again. And you search for what feels warm and cozy and nice. Because it might be that, yes, you will watch that episode on Netflix, but then the second one, you will not have the same feeling. You will be like, no, I think that's it. Now I want to go and do something else. What will that be, right? So be in a level of vibration of like what I want to achieve, and then follow the joy, because that puts you in high vibration. So it's, instead of going from low to high, you are moving from a high level of vibration in an area that you're already enjoying into being in a high level of vibration that just transposes across everything else that you desire. And when you go back to worrying about stuff, like worry about, oh, I haven't been thinking about this that I'm supposed to be manifesting. Well, that means I haven't been spending enough time, so I'm not attracting this. This is bullshit. You are. You are, because you're in a joyful state. And the most amazing things happen. And I bet you can remember things in your life that happened like this because you were in that state, not because suddenly you switched on magic charm and you found the 4-leaf clover. By the way, fun fact, I actually found 4-leaf clovers like once a week at least the last few years, like at least. And I even found 5-leaf clovers. Now, when people hear that, they go, well, yeah, maybe there was something poured out there, radioactive or something, made them grow like with 5 leaves. Okay, well, why don't people believe that when they talk about 4-leaf clovers? Oh, it's so rare. But then you suddenly think about 5-leaf clover. Ooh, this is not possible. Why not? What about 6-leaf clover? Is abundance not possible? So, you know, this is what happiness is about, right? Just living, following your joy, following the beliefs that serve you, following the values that you want to live, and what feels easy. And people are so scared of easy. They think that it's lazy. It's not. People who feel lazy, who feel like they're not doing something, they're not feeling easy. They are feeling like they are stressed, worried, constantly doubtful. They're like looking around thinking, what else can I do? That's what this feels like. When ease and flowing and just following bliss is happening, it doesn't feel lazy, it doesn't feel unproductive, it doesn't feel sitting on the sofa in your sweats and eating pizza. No, it doesn't, but it might be that as well once in a while. But I guarantee you, it won't be you every single day. You won't be sitting in a gaming chair with a Coca-Cola and a pizza on a big stomach and like eating, you know, like this, and throwing boxes all around and not moving. That won't be you. People are scared of this. It's like, stop being scared. Follow the joy. Follow what feels really good. And you know why we often feel like this is wrong, this is bad? Because in childhood, we were taught, and you believe, after being joyful and feeling the experiences and having the happy, amazing vibration, that this is wrong. So how many times you were having fun and something fell and broke, like a vase, or by accident you pushed someone and someone said, see what happens, right? I bet 9 out of 10 of people who are listening to this will say, yes, it happened to me. Now, in fact, I have a story from my life. I was about 4 or 5 and excuse me, and my mom and my sister and I were temporarily living in a different city to my dad. It was like, long story, but old times, you had to put your name on the list to actually be able to buy an apartment. And when you finally got to the top of the line, like 5 years later, you had to then live in that place, so it wasn't taken away. So my dad was living in our house, and then because my mom could have this apartment, we moved there with my mom, because in those times, you know, moms looked after kids most of the time. And we kind of traveled back and forth. Anyway, long story. And I was in this apartment, and we had some neighbors, and there were two girls, and one of them had a broken leg, and she had two crutches to help her move around for some reason. And we were in her apartment, and we were playing, and I took a crutch from her because I was like, oh, this is fun, I want to do this, right? How many kids want to play with crutches? Like, my kids took my granny's Zimmer frame, and they just like walked around with it because it's fun for them, right? This is kids. And so I was playing, I was like this, and this girl wanted to move up, and she didn't have her crutches, and she fell. And her dad walked into the room at that time. Now, did I do this to her? No. Did she do something wrong? No. Did I push her? Did anyone cry? Did anything negative happen? No. It was an accident, right? No one caused it, but like on purpose. But her dad looked at all that situation, saw me with the crutches, and clearly in the instant made a decision that it was not great, and, you know, someone had to be told off, because in the adult world, someone is to blame. So he went, I think it's time for you to go now. And for me, in my little head of a 4 or 5 year old girl, I got this impression of having fun is bad. And how many of us can relate to this? Having fun is bad, because if you have fun, things will happen eventually that are not positive, or like eventually you will run out of time, or you will have to make up for it. So it's not even having fun is bad. You have fun, and then after you finish having fun, maybe, or like playing, maybe there's more hard work waiting for you, or maybe you have fun but that causes you something negative, like whatever that belief might be, right? But how often do we get that? And then we put that on the next generation often as well. Like, how many times I caught myself with this bullshit that has been bred into my head, even though I've been working actively on getting this out. So imagine if there are people who are not working actively on this. It's something that, you know, gets into you, and then it's so hard to kick out. So follow the fun. And when you're not having fun, ask yourself, why am I not having fun? I'm the only one in charge of having fun. You can be doing a boring job. So for me, it might be like, I don't know, programming, for example, or accounting, or I don't know, something else that for me, I would be like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this, right? But guess what? You can do anything and have fun with it. You just gotta be thinking crazy enough to make something fun. And then it takes one person, and then the next one is a follower, and then two people can be crazy together. And by crazy, you know, I'm saying inverted commas, but just have fun, because eventually it will become the norm, because more and more people will follow you. It's always odd to be the first one who's doing something different, because people are looking at you, but it's only us in our heads who are thinking, oh my God, they're judging me, I'm crazy. No, they're not. They're like, I wish I was like this crazy person. I want to be like that. And then eventually for them, they turn. You just were the first one, the pioneer, the one who took the first step, who decided, I'm the weird one, I'm going to put the weird cap on, right? And I'm going to do it. Like me and my kids. And we were ballroom dancing on the way through the woods today. And people were like, what is wrong with them? Put them in a straitjacket. And, you know, once in a while we have those people join us, like some crazy people too. So my point is, right, happiness is about having the joy in life. It's not when I'm fit, it's not when I'm healthy, it's not when I'm whatever, right? I have more goals in life as far as my health and happiness and looks and whatever. And like, so the overall health. And by looks, I mean, you know, I've got goals, right? I've got other goals to fulfill. I've got goals as far as my nutrition goes. But then I'm appreciating already what I've got. So I'm a healthy person. There are things that I don't eat out of choice because I know they are not good for you, and I have made a habit of that. And so I don't restrict myself. I give myself the permission to be healthy. But at the same time, you know what? Even though most of the time I don't even have processed sugar, there are days like today that I did. And so what? Who cares? We're having fun, right? This is what it is about. You follow something because you love it, because you enjoy it. Like I will make an avocado salad with tuna most days as opposed to having a fish burger or something, right? But every now and then I will. And my choice is I'm actually being excited about this salad and so on. And that burger will also taste nice when I have it. But it's that. And I also talk about this, like I'll talk about this tomorrow when I talk about health. But you know, you can eat whatever, and if you're doing this with pleasure and excitement and joy, you will actually start seeing more abs building on you, and you will start like feeling like you're getting slimmer and like you're, you know, more toned and whatever, right? But you can have the world's healthiest salad with nothing else and not eat for 2 days and feel super guilty about it, and you're gonna feel like you've just got bloated and you've like gained weight or whatever. And so, you know, like I'm working on this. I'm working constantly on my financial situation, on improving this. But there's always going to be the next thing. Guess what? The most fit, healthy, rich, best relationship people, whatever, like all of these top areas that we always work on, all these people also have new goals. Even though they're at the top of something, they have new goals. The top athletes have new goals. The top mentors have new goals. The top people in every area have new goals, right? So it's, you know, it's like when you get to the end of a corridor, there's always going to be more ways, right? And often we go down like a single corridor and we don't see any doors or any pathways or any alleyways. And we think, oh my God, is that it? But at the end of the corridor, you will learn new things, you will set new goals, you will have new visions and views and whatever. So enjoy that corridor while you can until you get to the next one, because you'll get to enjoy the next one too. It's not a rat race. It's not about getting somewhere and then sitting. How boring would that be? It's about being like, hi, I'm having fun. And we worry that if we have fun, that means we've accepted where we are. Like I had that state for such a long time. I was like, I'm accepting this state so that I won't have anything better. I won't have anything more because I'm accepting this, because I'm happy. And then I was like, no, I'm being happy because I'm enjoying this. I will accept that this is where I am because this is where I am. But again, what am I focusing on? Am I focusing on the one thing that I don't have yet, or the 9 things that are already in my life? Because it's not about making shit up that isn't there. It's about focusing on what good is already there in any situation, right? People locked up in concentration camps during the World War II. There were people who manifested throughout the time they were there the outcome that they wanted in the end, the exact outcomes. But guess what? They focused, they didn't go, I'm not there. They said, I have a roof over my head. I can see in my image, in my view, in my memory, my family. That's amazing. I can think clearly. I can read. I get to talk to other people. They didn't go, yeah, well, I get to talk, but it's all like everyone's sad and they didn't eat. No, they focused on the stuff that they could see that was already good. Because when you do, more good stuff comes up for you to focus on. Right, so I'm gonna go, I think. Have I been going on for nearly an hour? It felt good, and it feels like the right time now to finish, and also my voice is going, so I feel like it's something telling me to stop now. But I'm very excited because I want to talk about health tomorrow, and I don't script these things at all, and so it's gonna be fun. I do want to talk about eating cake and losing weight and I want to talk about mental health, and I want to talk about healthy relationships, and I want to talk about spiritual health, and I want to talk about obviously physical health, how we cure ourselves, what happens, how we actually go from, you know, super ill and illness ridden to the best ever place in our lives. I actually have a friend who I want to bring up, and her story is amazing, amazing. From having been diagnosed with 3 or 4 illnesses, given like 3 months to live 10 years ago or something. And I've just spoken to her recently. And I haven't spoken to her from a hospital. I have spoken to her like doing really well, right? So anyway, I'm gonna cover all that because I'm so excited. I think I will. And if you're watching me tomorrow, remind me if I don't remember. But it will be fun. I am promising that. So if you spend some time with me, please make sure that you take in what I've said and think about what this is going to do and what what you can do differently today, tomorrow, the next day already. Because it's not about listening to a lot and learning more, because we learn more and then we don't do anything with that. What one thing can you implement today that will change your view, your position, your level of happiness, right? Or what if you listened to a lot and you're like, I don't agree, what can you open your mind to? What can you open your mind about? And see. Okay, lots of love. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, night, morning, middle of the night, afternoon, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and I will see you soon.